is going on, guys? Jack here and welcome to episode 56 of The Road to Glory with FC United and Manchester. Today is a big day for us, but first things first, if you missed the last episode, it's pretty essential you go back and watch it for the benefit of this episode. Just please trust me, I'd even recommend watching the video before the last one, otherwise you're going to be very confused because so much has happened of late. So anyway, guys, first things first, I have a new texture pack or skin for my Football Manager, and I've also got the FC United badge finally. The skin I'm using is, well, you can see it there, Stelco X3. It's actually slightly customised for me, but that's that. And I've got the FC United and Manchester badge because a lot of people throughout the last 50 odd episodes have been like, how can you put up not having the real badge? And since we are now a Premier League side, it only seems fitting that I jazz up the game and kind of take this series to the next level, because we are now, we're Premier League at the end of the day, and I think we're going to struggle this year, but I've tried to make the best of what I could. So I would like to point out a few things before I even get into this season. First things first, I expect to go down this year, and I kind of plan to go down this year. The reason for that being is the parachute fund will help out finances massively. None of the players in the current squad have relegation release clauses linked to them. So from that sense, I'm not going to have to sell anyone if I go down, for sure. Financially, we may have to offload a few players, but I've tried to keep the wage budget low, and actually the directors have been really stingy with the money, to be honest. They only gave me £10 million transfer budget, which, although it might sound not that bad, you've please got to bear in mind the fact that I'm predicted to come out with £32 million at the end of this year. That's simply because we're only paying 150 grand a week in wages, which is literally pennies for the Premier League, like it really is. Okay, so straight into today's squad and stuff. I suppose we'll start off by showing you the squad. I've pretty much kept the squad the same. I've kind of followed the, I guess, template. Could you use the word template? I've kind of gone with the thinking that a lot of Premier League teams who are doing what I'm doing have done in the past in real life. So teams like Southampton, Norwich, teams who have quickly progressed from League One to the Premier League, and that is really keeping the core of the team the same, just bringing in some players to really add a little bit of depth and a little bit of strength where needed. Okay, so with that said, quick look at the squad, pretty much the same team. I will cover it player by player, role by role in a second, but first I'm just going to show you the tactics and the shape. So this year I've decided to play with an extra centre-back. Last year I played kind of a, I don't even know how I could really explain it. It was kind of a 4-3-3 with wing-backs. This year we're playing with 3 centre-backs. That's just really to play to our strengths. And then we're playing with our wing-backs, Mohamed Abu in the centre, Calandra and Peltari in the centre, Brown and Barney as kind of players in the final third. You're probably wondering who Calandra is. We'll get onto him shortly. But anyway, on the transfer front this year, I have really tried to be a good boy with finances this year, trying not to spend too much in terms of selling players. We didn't need to sell anyone really. A few players did go out. Methman went out on a free. He's now at Grimsby Town. Just not very good player for this league. Alex Evans, finally, kind of, I guess the club has outgrown this guy. He's been a fantastic servant to the club, but it was time to let him go. He, as you can see, slowly but surely, not making as many appearances in the first team. And now we're in the Premier League. He's just, I guess, surplus to requirements. Then 3 players out on loan. Brian Boyce, just the backup goalkeeper. Really nothing special in the squad, just getting him off the wage budget. Mohamed Adipour's on loan at Torquay in League One. Going to be getting lots of first team experience there, the left mid, and he is slowly developing. I have faith in him to still be a superstar. I called him the Danish Messi. He didn't really develop, but hopefully he can slowly progress now, playing at a higher level of football. And we also have David McCallum out on loan, who's a guy who I signed last year who really just hasn't been good enough. So loaning him out, 90% of his wage budget or of his wage getting paid, kind of reaps the rewards for us. On to the ins. I'm going to ignore Christian Caladra for a second because you guys are probably wondering, £10 million, he must be good. So quick overview of the other players to come in. We have William Perrine, just a good backup defender, young player, bit of potential, can play up front as well. Suppose that makes him a utility player, although really he doesn't have the stats of a striker at all, so I won't be playing him there. Then the other 2 players who I've brought in, Victor and Anchibi, got him in on a free, got released by Notts Forest last year. he comes to the squad, he's going to just be a really good backup player. He only wanted £2,000 a week, so he's quite a good kind of all-round, balanced-off backup player, because we only really had Afum and Barney as good enough strikers to play in this league. So I needed to get in 2 backup players. So I went with Victor Anichebe and Andre Weimann, who you guys may know as the current Villa superstar kind of forward. Really not had that superstar career on this save. Never broken into the Villa first team. Bringing him in on loan, only 500 grand for the year. And he's just going to be a really good backup player for us. Okay, so that's those players. Then the big man. So, as I mentioned, I really wanted to keep the core of the team the same. That said, I really wanted to add maybe one superstar, a player who could come down with the club if we got relegated, but would provide us with a very good kind of stable footing, and I can mould a squad around them. So I elected to go for this guy, Christian Calendra. He is an absolutely insane Argentine centre mid. As you can see, 721 caps, 420 goals for Argentina. He's dual nationality. He's Italian, which meant he didn't need the work permit. All in all, this guy's just a fantastic centre mid. Really nice balanced stats. He's only 21, plenty of room for improvement, and I really feel as if this guy could become big for us. £10 million may seem rather steep, but considering this guy's potential that I think he has, and his age, and all things into consideration, I feel as if he's going to be a really good signing for us. So he's going to slot in alongside Timo Paltari, who of course is captain. On the captain front, Shane Barney got promoted to vice-captain this year, in replace of Alex Evans, who obviously went out. Shane Barney last season, he got the Championship Player of the Year. His ending up stats were absolutely insane. 43 appearances in the Championship, 33 goals, 12 assists, 11 man of the matches, average rating of 7.6. I mean, you really can't argue with that. So he was insane this year. Other than that, really keeping the core of the team the same. As I already said, you've seen that I've really not made too many transfers. The system that I'm playing kind of gives us a good shielded defence, but allows us to break and maybe commit a few men to an attack and potentially score a few. So that's the thinking behind that. Today's first game, and the very first game of the Premier League, is going to be against Manchester United away. Nice easy game to get us bedded into the Football League, playing our fierce local rivals. The first time I've ever actually played Manchester United in this save, and this will be the first time that FC United of Manchester and Manchester United meet in a competitive league match, which I'm really excited about. It should be awesome. Quick look at the pre-season. I'm not going to click on any of the results, but as you can see, draws at Wickham. Then we got a home draw against Bayern Leverkusen, which was a good result. 5-0 away win against Alfreton Town. We then lost 1-0 to Tranmere, which I really don't know what happened there, but then we followed it up with 2 really good wins against Preston North End and Wigan. So we go into today's game against Manchester United, knowing that this is not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, and actually looking at it, I've got to rotate a few members of the squad, just because, because they're on international duty, which I didn't even realise. That is totally a fail on my behalf. Please forgive me, gods of FM who watch these videos. We'll bring on Apostolos Alexis to play in defence. He's been dropped by the the Greek national team. Although it's really good to see him breaking into the Greek national first team, considering he isn't playing any first team football for us. But looking at his stats, this guy's still really developing. With us playing free at the back in terms of defenders, this guy will get plenty of opportunities to come into the first team. But I mean, looking at our first choice centre backs, Glenn Stewart's improved a lot over the summer. He's been playing a lot for Northern Ireland now, really starting to show his worth. And I mean, if you look at this guy's improvements since he's been to the club, they're absolutely. I mean, I don't know how well you can see the bars because I know that my videos don't render them amazingly. But in terms of kind of the stats essential to a centre-back, his stats are all improving so much. I mean, this guy's been here for so long now. He's just an absolute workhorse, and it's really good to see him finally reaping the rewards. And honestly, I'd be amazed if this guy just doesn't continue to advance with the club and really become a figurehead. I mean, I think he is a club icon now. I'll check that quickly. I'm pretty sure he made it as a club icon. Shane Barney's a club icon, yeah, and Glenn Stewart's a club icon, and I didn't even know, but apparently I'm now a club legend, which is absolutely insane. That's a really hard thing to do. I don't know. I must have done that before with other teams, but to do it in the time I have, that's really cool. But no, Glenn Stewart and Shane Barney, both club icons. Alex Evans, Ryan Doble, and Adani now making it into the favourite personnel. Of course, Adani, one of the other centre-backs who partners Glenn Stewart, really good player. He's only been here 2 full seasons, so it's kind of cool to see him already being so well received by the fans and kind of becoming a fan favourite. And then, of course, accompanying Glenn Stewart and Adani, we have the one and only, where are you, Graziano or Graziano? Is it Graziano or Graziano? I think it's Graziano. We'll go with Graziano, but this guy's really good as well. Came from Inter Milan last year. Really good centre-back. He's only 20. He has plenty of room to improve, and I think those 3 guys at the back, considering their ages and stuff, are going to be really good for us. But no, it's time to get straight into today's game. I've kind of been putting this off because I'm kind of nervous going to Old Trafford first game of the season. It's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but we will see how we get on today. So, I'm not going to play as attacking because it is Man U we're playing, but we'll stick with everything else pretty similar to last year in terms of instructions, but we'll just see how this goes. Vyman needs a number, that's just auto number him. He gets number 10. That's kind of a cool number to get if you come that late to a club. But no, so Manchester United's team, quick look at it. They've got De Gea, Zuma, Romario, Rafael, Nkulu, Paul Jones. He must be a regen. Yeah, he is a regen. He's a good regen at that. Mario Götze, Yarmolenko. We'll go Yarmolenko. He's a good player. I've seen him a lot of saves. Neymar, and then Wayne Rooney up front. A really old Wayne Rooney at that, but still really good player. But no, let me just show you something quickly. So this is one of their regen centre mids, because I kind of just want to show you the comparison here, so you can see. If I compare this guy with, oh god, what is the name of my new defender? My new centre mid called? That is the question of the day. I should have thought about this way more before I did all this. Oh god, I can't remember his name. What is his name? I apologise for this, guys, but I kind of just want to show you it. Christian Calendra. Wait, where is Calendar? There you go. So, I mean, comparing these 2 guys, Man U's player is better, Zhang Koisian? Zhang Koisian. That sounds Asian rather than Czech Republic. But, I mean, comparing these 2 players, you can see how Calendar really has some potential to kind of match this guy. They're both very similar players. So, be interesting to see how Calendar develops, but I think he's a great coup for the club. But let's get straight into today's game. It's going to be tough for us. Manchester United are the better side on paper, and the pundits are expecting them to win. I'm kind of expecting Manchester United to win. I'm just going to nobody expects us to win. Go and play without any pressure. Calm. And we'll go with that. That's not a bad first team talk in this division. And we'll just take things as they go. Hopefully they can go good for us. But no, you know, we'll just see how things go. Apparently I'm on 2D Classic, but this new skin that I've got seems to change like little bits which I don't like. Like these kind of look semi 3D now. I don't know, guys. What do you make of this texture pack thing or skin? It's got some nice things. I really like the kind of player pages and stuff, but I'm not sure about this. But we've got a chance here. Calendar, is that a penalty? We've got a penalty at Old Trafford. What is this voodoo magic? That never happens. Well, I'm not complaining. Shane Barney, can you get your first Premier League goal? De Gea saves. Barney, you muppet. I'm still amazed that we got a penalty at Old Trafford. Not necessarily because it's a shock, but because it's at Old Trafford and the officials always give decisions Man U's way. I'm mind-fucked. What is this? But anyway, 0-0 at the break. I would have taken that if you'd offered me that. I'm going to just tell them cut passionate. I'm pleased with your performance. Keep it up, lads. Good start. Good stuff. I'm content with that. Even if we lose this now, I'm just going to be like, yep, but it was 0-0 at half time. Actually, looking at the stats, although we've not had a lot of the ball, we've created some chances with it, which is kind of good to see. Looks like we're on the attack here as well. I'm going to be interested to see how this tactic works, but wow, Hamsik wins the ball high up the field, and look how many men they have in the attack. Götze through. Oh my gosh, Peltola, you babe with the save, the Finnish giant between the sticks. So wait, is that him? That must be Peltola. It must be. No other keeper in the league could have saved that. But we've now got to defend this. Good header. bit nervous to see us getting all these shots fired our way at the start of the second half, but who cares? I don't mind. Marine to concede the corner, but still a good tackle. But no, guys, this is really going to be an adventure this season. I'm kind of just going to take things as they come. I don't feel as if our squad's the strongest Premier League team, and in fact, I'm not convinced we're strong enough to stay up in the Premier League. That said, I feel as if as a unit we are very solid, and I feel as if on an individual basis, although we can't outmatch teams, the team cohesion we have cannot be underestimated. And admittedly, Man U have just scored there. I've kind of resigned to the fact they're probably going to win this, but you know what? We've put up a fight for 60 minutes. I'm kind of happy with that alone, because that's a good omen. I mean, if you can go to Old Trafford first game of the season, your first game in the Premier League in your club's history, and keep a clean sheet for 60 minutes, you really can't argue with it. And I kind of just feel like this year, if we can get the parachute fund, that's great. If we stay up, that's great. This season is pretty much a bonus year. I didn't expect to go up the leagues this quickly. In an ideal scenario, I'd like to stay up. But to be honest, this game looks like it's going to end 1-0, and I would have taken that. I'm pretty content with that result. I really am. I'm kind of proud of the lads, because they did a good job there. I'm happy with that, you know. I don't think many people, if you were watching this, you probably expected me to get absolutely bummed by Man U at Old Trafford in the first ever game with the new formation and stuff. But we've done ourselves justice there, which is really good to see. So I am content with that. How did our team get on? Good to see Adney get man of the match as well. And 1-0 defeat. I will take that, to be honest. Apparently we were wobbly. I don't know what that really means, but apparently we're wobbly, guys. But no, that's a fantastic result. I'm really happy with that. How did Calendar get on in his debut? 6.8. That's not... 6.9. That's not bad. I would have taken that, to be honest. How long's Peltari out for? 3 to 4 weeks. Well, that's going to give us a chance to rotate our squad a little bit. We've got quite good strength in depth this year, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, there's quite a lot of 2.5-star players. Of course, your ability stars and everything are related to your club's reputation, and there's a few other things that vary it, so you can only really take these with a pinch of salt. But I'm content with that, guys. I don't know. Let me know what you think of this. Give me some predictions in the comments. That's something to do. Give me a prediction of where you think this team can finish. I'll quickly just give you a rundown of the team. We've got Aku Peltola in goal, the Finnish goalkeeper, came in when we were in League 2. At the back, we have Alexis playing at the moment, the young Greek centre-back, really good player. Partnering him, we have Glenn Stewart, the Irish or Northern Irish absolute monster at the back, commanding centre-back, legend of the club, absolutely superb player. And then Francesco Adani, the German beast, the guy who isn't going to get beaten in the air by very many people. The other centre-back who plays along with these guys regularly is Graziano, the young Italian. He kind of has a playboy look about him. Do you know what I mean? He kind of looks like, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me being silly, but this guy's a really good young prospect. He's only 20. Really looking forward to seeing him develop. At right wing back, we have Musavi, the Iranian right back. Really good player again. 38 international caps. Former Iran national team captain at the age of 19 and 20. Stepped down in recent years, but still a good player. At left wing back, we have Isaac Marin. Really good Spanish player. Previously tipped to be the next Gerard Piqué. Came in last year for 800k from Liverpool, and he's back in the Premier League this year with us, ready to kind of show teams what he's got and perhaps show Liverpool what they could have, or rather what Liverpool are missing out on, I suppose. At centre defensive mid, we have Mohamed Abu, the former Manchester City Youth Academy prospect who was signed from Goldfields SC, now Ashanti Gold, who are a Ghanaian football team. Since coming to Man City, he never did anything at the club. Last year he came to us and he made 48 appearances in the league, only missing out on one league game all year, including the playoffs. Absolutely superb player, and the game he missed was because he was suspended. At centre mids this year, first choice players, we're going to have Teemu Peltari, the Finnish playmaker, the captain of the team, the former Finland national team vice captain. This guy's a beast. He's already made in excess of 100 league appearances for FC United and Manchester in 3 years. fantastic player. And then partnering him, we've got Christian Calendra, the young Argentine centre mid. £10 million to bring this guy in, adds a bit of continental flair to the team and that South American vibe that you need in the centre of the midfield. Playing just ahead of those, we've got Christopher Brown, the Trinidad and Tobago advanced playmaker, the pacey man, the athlete. This guy, 81 caps for his national side at the age of 22, and he's only just turned 22. He could hit 200 caps. He could be one of the few 200 cap players you get on FM. I'm excited by him. 3 years at the club. Didn't make too many appearances last year, but this year he's improved a lot over the pre-season and towards the end of last year, and he's going to get a chance this season. Then up front we have Shane Barney, former Championship Player of the Year last year. Scored 33 league goals this last year. Really a figurehead at the club. Club vice-captain. The reason we're in the Premier League today, I feel, comes down to him, and an absolute superb player. A few other honourable mentions. Paul of Thumb, the Ghanaian target man, another player who's improved and kind of grown as the club's grown. Signed from Red Bull Ghana in League One 4 years ago. Since then he's gone on to make over 100 appearances for the club. Another superb player. And just one more player really quickly who deserves a big shout out is Andy Montgomery, the Australian centre mid, signed when we're in League 2 from Cheltenham for $650k. Made a lot of appearances for the club. Very good player. Another player to have over 100 league appearances for the club, and he's an absolutely superb player. But anyway, guys, that's a quick rundown of the team for you. Hopefully you've got a bit of a vibe for who's at the club and stuff. Pretty much the same team that was here last year. I really feel as if the club's really grown. I'd actually be interested to see, guys, let me know who your favourite player is at the team. If you have one, maybe a player who you have a soft spot for. I think for me, got to be Shane Barney after last year, or maybe Glenn Stewart, just because he's now been at the club for so long. This is actually his 6th season at the club, so, long-term servant. And I don't know, he just has something about him. Really loyal player, and he's done a job for the club for such a long time. But anyway, I appreciate this has been a really long episode. Kind of just giving you a vibe of the team, a bit about the pre-season and my plans for this year in the Premier League, a bit about the challenge that lays before us, and then what I think was a very respectable result against Manchester United at Old Trafford of just a 1-0 defeat. So yeah, I'm done now, guys. As I've said, leave a comment, let me know who your favourite player is. If you've got any questions, feedback, anything with regards to this series or Football Manager in general, leave it down in the comments for me and I'll get back to you. And other than that, guys, I'll talk to you in a bit. It's me, Jack, and I'm out.